Hello, welcome back. Thanks for joining us again today, and we appreciate you taking time to be with us. This time, as this is being recorded, it'll be Tuesday, this Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and we're looking forward just to the holiday season and everything that comes with it. I happen to truly enjoy the Thanksgiving time, being with family, and just being reminded of all that God's given to us, and a great beginning to what really the holiday season brings as we look forward to Christmas and New Year's and all the things that come with it. And so hope you enjoy time with your family. Just a reminder for those who follow this that there will not be an episode Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday this week, and we'll be back here starting next Monday. If you're following along with us in Scripture, we are in Matthew chapter 24, and we started yesterday talking about the idea of looking at what Jesus is describing. We are at what many call the Olivet Discourse. The disciples have asked him to describe what the world would look like when he comes back. What were some things they could see? Now, please remember, they were anticipating him to go and come back by the end of their life, so they were looking for those things. It is now just about 2,000 years later, and we are still looking for those things. And some of the descriptions we talked about yesterday's wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes, famines, pestilences, a lot of those things have taken place. COVID-19 was a pestilence, a disease. So we can sit back and say these are coming. Yes, it is a sign of it. We could also see more of this might come. So we remind ourselves that when we look at this, we don't focus our attention on trying to figure out when he's coming, because he's made it clear that we'll never be able to figure that out. Our goal is to be encouraged that when everything seems to be falling apart around us, not to be overwhelmed, not to be nervous, because that's the plan. To look at it and realize that God knows what's going on, these things must take place, and that his return is imminent at some point. Now, again, we described his return as physical return to the earth. It's at the end of the tribulation. I believe we're looking forward to the rapture, where Jesus is going to come in the air, and as we see in 1 Thessalonians, we'll meet him in the air. That's the church raptured out, and then the tribulation time. But let's go ahead and look. Now, what we're going to look at in the second half, verse 15, is what I believe we're looking at is the Great Tribulation. The second half, we described this yesterday, that there is the first 3.5 years, what many in the world will consider peace. The Antichrist will have created a peace treaty with Israel, a peace treaty that he will end up destroying in a massive way. And so the world's going to look at him as being able to accomplish something that no politician has ever been able to do. This is not someone that is very well known right now. If he is on the stage, he's going to be a low level, someone that, because the Bible describes him as someone who's going to be, to an extent, thrust from power, from pretty much anonymity. We're not going to know who he is, and he's going to come out of nowhere as somebody who will definitely be able to offer something that the world's not seeing. Peace in the Middle East, which, as we can see right now, is something that would be a novel, an amazing thing, especially when he brings peace to Israel. He allows them to rebuild their temple, things of that nature. Let's sort of unpack some of these verses for the next couple of minutes. Verse 15. Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, whoever reads, let him understand. Let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Now, let me take a moment and explain what is mentioned here by the abomination of desolation. If you go back and study the book of Daniel, the first 6 chapters of the book of Daniel describe Daniel and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and Israel's plight in Babylon, and describes what it was like to live as a slave, but also an advisor to the king. You know of Daniel in the lion's den. You know of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Chapters 3 and 6, you see those things. Chapter 7 then starts a time where 7 through 12, where it's just prophecy, where God is giving prophecy to Daniel. Daniel's writing it down. One of the things many prophecy theologians calls Daniel's week. And he describes the tribulation in a week, and it's split in half. And we're looking at and in this is what's called the abomination of desolation. The Antichrist gives the opportunity for Israel to find peace. He signs a peace treaty. They rebuild their temple. They go back to making sacrifices. 3.5 years into it, he is assassinated. He raises from the dead, and now he sees himself as not a political ruler. He sees himself as a god because, well, now at this point he is possessed by Satan. What he does is he literally goes in, places an image of the Antichrist into the temple. He himself sits on the throne and basically desolates God's holy place. Because remember, this is really Satan doing this, something Satan's probably always wanted, and he will do that. This is the sign of what we call the Great Tribulation, the second half, where great persecution comes comes on all the believers. Anybody who would be a follower of Jesus will be under persecution. So he gives a warning to these people. What do you do? Please remember, this Bible will be available to people live. I don't believe the church age will be there, but they'll be available. And so that's part of what we're getting here is a warning. So what is a warning to those who will be there? He says in verse 16, flee to the mountains. Verse 17, let him who is on the housetop not go down and take anything out of his house. Let him who is in the field not go back to get his clothes. But woe to those who are pregnant and those who are nursing babies in those days. And pray that your flight may not be in winter or on the Sabbath. For then there will be great tribulation, such as not been since the beginning of the world until this time, nor ever shall be. And unless those days were shortened, no flesh would be saved. For the elect's sake, those days will be shortened. And so he's describing, get out as quick as possible. Don't even take time to go into your house and to pack. You just need to get out. The guess is that there probably is already a strategic plan for anybody who believes it's going to be an aggressive plan. He says, frankly, if they had not limited the time, no one would survive this. Verse 23, and if anyone says to you, look, here is the Christ, or there, do not believe it. For false Christs and false prophets will rise and show great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect, even those who are saved. See, I have told you beforehand. He continues, therefore, if they say to you, look, he is in the desert, do not go out. Or look, he is in the inner rooms, do not believe. For as the lightning comes from the east and flashes to the west, so also will the coming of the Son of Man be. For wherever the carcass is, there the eagles will be gathered together. So he gives some in a level of picturesque what's going to happen. So you're going to understand there's going to be great tribulation. Flee, get away, get out of the main areas because there's going to be a great slaughter. And if God didn't limit the time, no one would survive. Then he says there's going to be people. So I believe what will happen is many will disappear and find ways to hide. So in a great way to deceive the believers to come out so they can kill them, they create these false prophets. I believe these false prophets will have abilities, maybe satanic abilities, demonic abilities. Will they be able to kind of perform miracles and magic or whatever? And they will come and depict themselves as the Messiah. People will run thinking Jesus has returned. And obviously it's a deception, more than likely to be used as a chance to enslave them or to bring persecution and kill more of the followers. And Satan's desire is to eliminate all those who believe. And by the way, much like we see a little bit today, already beginning to happen, he will say that he's trying to eliminate the enemy. He will say that those followers of Jesus are the things holding back peace. They're the ones bringing all of this punishment on the earth, and we need to get rid of them. And if we get rid of them, then we can enjoy peace. There's already a beginning of that today where the Christians, anybody who has a religious belief, is dangerous. That's already being said today. So it wouldn't take much for people to follow that, especially somebody as visibly powerful as this man will be. And then he says, just don't go out. There can be deception, don't go out there. But he goes, listen, if you're at that time looking for Jesus' return, here's how obvious it will be. As the lightning comes from the east and flashes to the west, so will the coming of the Son of Man be. He says it's going to be as obvious as a huge lightning bolt in heaven. It will not be a deception in the desert. When Jesus comes down from the sky with the church to defeat his enemy, you understand that will not be something that will be easy to miss. No one will miss that. Everyone will see Jesus on his white horse coming down with his words to defeat Satan and the enemy. Because here's what he says in verse 28, for wherever the carcass is, there the eagles will be gathered together. There's going to be great slaughter. And but what we call the Battle of Armageddon. And that is where we're going to see. He's going to come at that point and defeat his enemy. Now, again, you look at this, and frankly, there's a lot of movies out there that intrigue us. It's some exciting, but frankly, this is going to be a horrible time as the Holy Spirit is taken away from the earth. God's wrath is placed right back down upon this earth for sin. Yes, while people be saved, they have to live through that. It's not something you want to go through. Again, it's a reminder of us of our job to occupy, to recognize that this world is temporary. That Jesus is coming and that we should live with that in view, that should be our primary purpose. Well, again, thanks for joining us today as we take a few minutes together. I do hope you enjoy time with your family, enjoy time at this holiday, this Thanksgiving week, and as you get some rest and time just to reflect on all that God has done for us. And I hope you just enjoy the time, find the rest need as we look into a busy holiday season. But always remember to keep Jesus first and keep looking to Him, even in these wonderful times. Thanks again for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you again next Monday.